Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Heist League 3.12. So we have the new passive tree, the new path of building. I'd like to start it off by looking at this. Ugh. Ew. What the? 65% of damage from blocked hits? Oh god, it's dead, boys, it's dead. Wait. Mistress, 50! Oh, it's dead. It's dead. Okay, anyways, let's show off how a new player will get my build. So this is my Skeleton League Starter. How you guys doing? So if you guys are a new player or whatever, new to Path of Building, you're gonna want to go get the community fork first, POB fork. Yeah, impale fork. Okay, so that's a side thing. It's really easy. But then after you've updated your Path of Building, you can go to import from pastebin. You take my pastebin from the description, click it, and then copy it. Don't copy it from the description because it'll be shortened by YouTube. You need it to be the pastebin link, not shortened by some other. Yeah, retrieve paste, boom, import. So here you'll see my necromancer, skeleton, league starter. So you may think, but Ethan, this is level 93, 116 skill points, this big ass skill tree, you have jewel sockets. No. So what I recommend is you can change how many points you use right here. So you can see 12 points. So this is where you would start, and then you'd obviously have a lower level. And I even have all of the skills all the way up from level 1 to 4, 4 to 10, blah blah, all the way up. Treat, you got this is my recommended 12-point start, 25-point start. Getting to Death Attunement, we like to get Enduring Bond damage. 43 points in normal. We get all of the elemental res to cap our skeleton zombies. We're 2% off of cap actually. It's because they nerfed this node from 10 to 8 for some stupid reason. So it's like you actually can't cap your minions through the tree unless you use grave intentions, but I always use brutality by 38, so I don't want to use. Anyways, 58 points. We go get grave pact, purity of flesh. At 70, we go for the extra righteous army, redemption, devotion. We got quick recovery sometime. I don't remember when. 87 points. We go get our cruel prep. So I also realized that because we go through the whole thing here, we could actually come from above, and it will make our transition to the golem build later easier. And so you don't have to reallocate these 2 points. That's a side thing. It's pretty much the same. In this case, it's easier to get the jewel socket. Yeah, it's 2 points for the jewel socket instead of 3 points, because you don't want the golem when you're the skelly build. Okay, just a side thing. Yeah, then this is at 87 points, we go get our unwavering stance because cannot be stunned is PogChamp. Go get our extra health because Constitution is a dirty node. And it gets us the whole life wheel at 109 life, regen, extra life and res we had here, extra life, reduced mana cost of skills for the skellies and shit. That's pretty good. I remember when we used to be able to use aligned spirits when it was on the other side of the skill tree, and we would take that. Maybe a guardian would run necromantic aegis and aligned spirits and grave intentions, and goes this side of the skill tree with the ES life, and because mana guardians are still a thing, and you could take your mana ES and your mana and your ES here. Dude, mana guardian, and you go CI right away, just start it, and you could take this from this side, take foresight. Oh my god, decay ward. Okay, anyways, 116 points. You go get the jewel socket. So it's a 1-point jewel socket, 2-point jewel socket, 2-point jewel socket. This is exactly what I was talking about. And I think I put a few extra points into life. Like here, let me check. Yep. 1 extra point here. Got the extra jewel socket there. Yep. So that's the current stuff for the league starter for the skeleton. We didn't get really touched by the patch, so my stuff for 3.11 was safe at the end, the stuff that I put out. So yeah, this is every single skill at every single level, and how long you use them for, or forever if it has a plus. And it shows you what level you get them at, and then it shows you the level, and then it show. I also put in when you go up to higher levels, like higher links and stuff, when you can add higher links and higher combinations. I even gave the gem levels too. I calculated all the damage. This build is absolutely insane. I highly recommend my skeleton league starter. And so just to run this through, because it makes sense to, because for all league starters, I like to say everything. So for the beginning, level 1 to 4, start with Freezing Pulse. I take Freezing Pulse from the quest, and then I can buy Raise Zombie from Nessa if I want to. From 4 to 10, we get Summon Raging Spirit finally at 4. So we have a real minion skill that we can use that summons them without needing corpses. So we're free. We don't need to use Freezing Pulse anymore. Frost Blink is our first movement skill, PogChamp. At level 10, we can replace Summon Raging Spirit with Vaal Summon Skeletons. If you don't have Vaal Summon Skeletons, you run Summon Skeletons, just the regular one, it's fine. You get Melee Splash, and you get minion damage. At level 10, you get Flame Dash and replace Frostblink. At level 12, you add Flesh Offering, Pog. We were going to do Bone Offering, but I don't think we're doing the Mistress Glancing Blows thing anymore. I don't really like how much they nerfed it. It's kind of insane. Skitterbots. Vaal Summon Skeleton. So you get Skitterbots at level 16, which is an Aura. Vaal Summon Skeletons. 3, 1, 4, 4. These are the levels of the gems. And this at 18 you get Melee Fizz. At 24. So basically this is showing how you get a 4th gem, and then the other ones are leveled up more. Yeah. Punishment is now our curse at level 24 instead of vulnerability, and so this isn't correct, the one that is showing here. We know from my patch notes yesterday that they updated the punishment curse, therefore this is a new curse, and vulnerability is like dead. It's for ailments now, so it was more for like bleed and poison, whereas punishment is more for what we're doing now. So that's good. We have a new curse, it's fine, don't worry. Dread Banner and Pride at 24, and it says 231 because at 31 you get Generosity, so you get to add the extra link. You see how that works? It's really cool. Carry On Golem at 34, just a straight up, because we could just run a Golem in this build, and it's probably one of the simplest ones just to add damage. We just add, because we don't really need regen or physical damage reduction, because we won't care that much about our survivability. We kind of just want to kill and go farther in the game. Vaal Summon Skeletons. So this is our 6th link at 38, because 38 you get Multi-Strike, Brutality, and at 31 you got Impale, but I didn't put it in the build at 31. I put it in at 38 with the big swap. So Vaal Summon Skeletons, Melee Splash, Melee Fizz, Impale, Brutality, Multi-Strike. So you'd have to get a chest plate with these colors early on in the league. So 4 red, 1 green, 1 blue, and technically I guess you could also go for a minion damage instead of Impale, like so for another blue instead of the green, or another blue instead of a red, like take out the Melee Fizz for minion damage. It should be similar damage. That's what I found. And then I even have the big links at the end of the story, so it's to keep it clean for you guys so that you know what your end goals are of where you're ending up, and it shows you all the links so you know how it fits, and you're not going to be guessing like, what, I have extra space and Ethan, you didn't tell me because you only covered the basics. No, I got you. So the end games, we got the Vaal Summon Skeleton. It's the same gems, but now they're 20. Here's our Dread Banner Pride, so I left it as a 3 link. Keep that in mind. It can go in a wand, in a one-handed weapon. You can go a shield. Here we have a 4 link, so this is Immortal Call, cast and damage taken. The levels are important. You have to keep these levels 1, 3, 8, 10. Can't go past them. So keep cast and damage taken to level 1 to keep triggering gems that are level 38 or lower. So your gems have to be level 38 or lower. So for them to be 38 or lower, requiring level 38 or lower, they have to be 3, 8, 10. And then we use Flesh Offering instead of my old recommendation of Bone Offering. We still use Frost Wall because it blocks projectiles. Immortal Call for physical damage reduction, and elemental damage reduction. In the Skelly build, we're gonna try to run Spectres with with like Theof Tool, Carnage Chieftain, Host Chieftain. You can get Carnage Chieftain, Host Chieftain from Ashen Fields Act 7 to get Frenzy charges and power charges in the build. And then we could also go for Theof Tool from a Tool's Domain to get physical damage reduction of 15% and dodge. We could also go for a bunch of different... I have whole videos on support specters, but yeah, this is my idea. And with maybe minion life, meat shield, blood magic, and capped resist through the skill tree because of going skeleton start, these might survive. And then we have our carry-on golem, which similar idea is I'm trying to keep him alive, so he has the survivability of the LA res cap, minion life. He'll leech, and he has maim, feeding frenzy. He's got his own regen. Decently tanky minion, honestly. Flame dash, summon skitterbots, and punishment. So yeah, we bring the new punishment. It's another 3-link to fit in our other one-handed weapon / shield, wand, whatever you want. Big ideas, big thoughts, big brain. And this is what I put together in items. It's just tons of health, but then I put 2-tone boots of res and move speed and life. I put strength, dex, ammi. This is important because that's the things we're lacking. If you notice, maybe mostly dex. You could go for a jade amulet if you want that 6 extra dex. We go for res rings and a heavy belt for the strength, PogChamp. You could also go a Stygian Vice. And then I put high priority flask here, okay? So it's a basalt flask with freeze immune. Granite flask with increased armor. I'm only going to prioritize one thing for you guys, and the other mod is not a big deal, but usually it's going to be like you want... Okay, so in the case of basalt, you want to either, in the case of the other mod, usually it's increased duration. This part's very important. Increased duration or reduce flash charges, because you can reduce the flash charges to 30 of 60, which means you can click it twice instead of using 40 and it only having 20 and not being able to click it again. So that's pretty big. Or the increased duration, because it has a pretty long duration, or because it consumes so many charges you want to get the most out of it, which is the duration. You could also get increased effect to get the most out of it, Kappa. Granite flask, increased armor, and the other one is like stuff about being hit, get hit, gain a charge, get crit, gain a charge, etc. Usually pretty consistent. We have silver flask of warding, so I specifically put on the silver flask curse immune. You could switch these, so the basalt can have curse immune and the silver flask can have the freeze. That's fine. It's just that the way I usually play is that quicksilver and silver are my move speed flasks, so while I'm running around constantly, I'm going to want my curse immune up, and I want to run fast. So these are my constant spam. Now when I want to be tanky, I click the granite and the basalt because it increases the physical damage reduction, because when you come into the game and we have 75% reses and 75% chaos, well, the one thing we don't have is a 75% physical damage reduction, and so I try to basically augment that with the granite basalt. It's the only like activated thing in our build that gives us the tankiness and keeps us alive, and it's really important. It's why the brass dome felt so good over the Saka walls, is because you don't actually have to click the flask. We pretty much augmented the flask with Chaos Golem and brass dome last season. It was fucking insane. You could AFK the tankiness. It was amazing. It was really fun. But either way, this is why I recommend these two. And then the reason to have the freeze immune on the basalt is because if you're not using all the time, but you only need to use it when you think you're gonna die. So let's say the reason you need freeze immune in most cases is because you enter something hard and then you think you're gonna die, so you would need the basalt anyways, so it's good. And then on top of that, you could save it. You don't need to always use the basalt, right? You could click it as a like emergency button, and then you know you're safe during the duration of it. And then the other part is that also you go up to a strong box, and you don't know what it is because you do an unID'd strong box because you don't have scrolls of wisdom because you're lazy. Typical Path of Exile player. And then you don't want to have to worry about freeze immune because you've been playing this elementalist for 3 months in the last season, or maybe even longer than that. You've been playing golems for even longer possibly. And so this freeze immune thing, having it as an option whenever you want instead of being used constantly on your silver flasks, just because the gameplay style that we have adopted. And then finally a divine life flask. So similar to the granite and basalt, you don't use this all the time. This would be saved for when you're in danger. So then when you're in danger, getting bleed immune is just good. So again, to put this into perspective, you would use these two all the time for move speed, and then in danger, basalt, granite, and divine life flask. You're good, dude. Yep, didn't put some weapons in because you could do whatever you want. You could put a shield, you could, yeah. And then I also didn't put jewels because it's a league start and you don't have any currency and you're just starting the game. But jewels are usually like blind, taunt, maybe 2% minion res, maybe some dex, maybe life, maybe some chaos res, whatever you need, dude. Whatever you need, really, honestly. You could go for some of those crazy jewels. You could go for cluster jewels, get some impale in the build right away. Get some of those crazy cluster jewel nodes for skeletons, like Culta Slaughter and the one that keeps them alive. So maybe you wouldn't even need the elemental res. You wouldn't even need minions at all. You just go unkillable skeletons for 4 seconds or whatever. Anyway, sorry, I went on a tangent. Either way, hope you guys did enjoy the skeleton league start for 3.12. This is goddamn exciting. I can't wait for Heist. It's only 2 more days, boys. Only 2 more days. I have another league start coming. You guys have been so hyped for golems, so I decided to make a golem league start. Hope you guys look forward to that. I hope you guys like this. Now I'm going to take this opportunity, thank my Patreon, my YouTube members who financially support the channel. I can't do this without you guys. Thank you guys for all the financial support. Thank you guys. Thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon or the YouTube members today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!